Hey everybody, welcome to the July 7th episode of the Matt Daddy Weekly Roundup. Glad you were able to stop in. We're going to cover about a dozen books this week. Before all that though, let's just jump in and see who helps makes this show all possible. So you got me, like I said, I'm Nat Daddy, broadcasting here from the Nat Daddy office. A little bit of a quieter week when it comes to books because of the holidays. We had Canada Day and July 4th there for all our American friends. Hope everyone had a great time. I'm sure for a lot of you, much like it was up here in Canada, super hot summer this year, almost too hot. Yeah, but what can you do about that? It's better than winter. Um, I know for us on Canada Day, we were out at the Winnipeg Beach there. We had the big wrestling show at the on the boardwalk there. Like I said, it was so hot that we had the spectators were passing out. We had a few wrestlers that were not feeling great and passing out as well too. It was so hot that even the um, phones and cameras and all that would not even work. It was just that hot. But it was still a great event. No, I'm glad everyone who checked it out. Unfortunately, with the heat and that, I could only stream some of the event in that. Got the main event in at the end there, so that's what really counted. But we again hope to see you guys on the 21st of July. We're back in the city here. This one will be back at the Winnipeg Chinese Cultural Center, so indoors, so we don't have to worry about the heat as an issue. And hopefully Mustachio will be back by then. Mustachio is still missing in action. We got the wanted posters up there looking for him because he is missing and hurt. Also as well there, we had the Toxic Juggernauts, Tyler James, and Moses Luke there. And yeah, when they're working with Nat Daddy as well, we're going to be selling their merchandise and that. We got Moses' Luke stuff up here. Tyler James stuff's coming up later this afternoon. And also Primo's Wrestling itself, one of our sponsors, will be, who helps put all the wrestling events on. We'll have some of their t-shirt merchandise as well there. And also we have 204 Comics, our other sponsor, who helps us get all these books to you guys as well too. So that's where RLCS here at Nat Daddy, we sell the exclusive comics. 204 Comics is where we sell, or is where we get our regular books from. Ashley and Bobby, they're amazing. They let us come in there and shoot our videos for you guys for those preview videos. That's where we get our pull list from, and we'll have our FOC video later on today as well. So yeah, stick around for all that. Lots of craziness coming up. But that's what it's all about. So let's jump right into it. Oh, I guess I'm talking about sponsors, and then we can also talk about ourselves as well. Like I said, we sell exclusives here. These are the Nat Daddy exclusives for all of our books that we put out in that. And hopefully soon we'll put out a few more. All right, now let's jump into the books. Oh, I got one more thing. I forgot. There's so much to put out here. I always forget. We have the Things Are Getting Dicey show and Things Are Getting Sketchy. Things Are Getting Sketchy is away on holidays for the summer, and that's where we do our weekly art show. But just because you guys aren't seeing anything at the moment doesn't mean things aren't going on. Me and Stefan have already started working on it for the upcoming season that starts in September. It's going to be a good one. Hope to see you guys there, especially if you like live art. And yeah, Things Are Getting Dicey. Still going on every Monday. D&D type of show. Me and a few other people get on there. And we have Zany Adventures. We're still in the icy mountain area now. Icedale. Trotting our way through the 10 cities there, trying to survive. Once again, my character has taken a negative twist, I guess, to be Howard has not necessarily died. I had Howard the Duck type of character, but he has, how shall we say, is falling for eternity type of thing. So he's not dead, but he's falling, and he's just gone for the moment. So my new character there is at the bottom. I like to introduce it for the first time. He is a bugbear druid. A bugbear is basically like Chewbacca or like a Wookiee, and druid is like this nature person, kind of like a monk that has nature magic. So we'll see where that goes. And his name is Yakov Daily. So, all right, that is on Mondays. at 7:30 Central. So we stream that on the Nat Daddy channel, and again, it's also on the Things Are Getting Dicey channel. Check it out if you want something to do. All right, now we can jump into some books. All right, books this week. I got about a dozen, like I said there, and I think you guys will like them. All right, what did I pull out first? First this week we have Scout Comics. We have E-Junkie. This is a neat book here. It's kind of relevant to what's going on in the world nowadays. It's a society that's all kind of controlled just by corporations and that. Everything is all emotions and everything like that are all controlled by these companies, and everything is also everything's about advertising in that too. So people here actually wear advertising in that as well too. So what this book is about is like I said, emotions are all controlled, and everything is kind of like in a pill or like a virtual reality form. And this guy ends up finding some stuff and taking some stuff that's way more powerful than it should be, and kind of opens up his consciousness that maybe that no, things are not what they seem, and maybe people shouldn't be hooked up and depending on machines and AI and that to not necessarily protect us in that, but kind of control us in that by emotions and that. And at the same time too, the vision that he has when he takes it is he has this this flashback of a train wreck that happened 200 years ago. So again, weird, but neat at the same time, and it's got some pretty cool coloring in there, and the artwork's nice as well too. So that is E-Junkie from Scout Comics. All right. For our weekly Archie bit of flavor, we have Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, and this is a one-shot. This usually comes out in the summer times. So this one again is all beach and summer themed. Introduces a new character in here. We have this new character, Casey, who ends up being the brother of another character that they introduced. I guess it was last summer, and it was Cassie, and same type of thing here too. So this is a lot. It makes me laugh, but also I applaud them for the way they do it too. That Archie Comics, it stays very relevant when it comes to the social scene, politically and also just like socially as well, like I said. So what they have here is a party going on. It's a big beach party, but it's for the opening of the Barbie movie. So much like what's going on right now, the Barbie movie and how hot it is. This is a Barbie theme party, and everything there is kind of Barbie themed. It's really neat how they do that. They've done it in the past too with other things like with TikTok and whatever else is hot at the time. So I like that. It's cool too. And I like how they keep introducing these new characters to the Archie universe. All these characters are very diverse, and they're very social relevant to what's how people are nowadays. So I like that as well too. So a few new stories in there. Especially with one of my favorite artists, being Dan Parent, and then you also got some of the, a little bit of the older stuff as well too. So again, these two new characters. No, not only one is Casey. Casey. He's the bottom one there, and I said it's younger sister Casey at the top there. She was introduced back in February. Let's see here. Yeah, in the Valentine's one in February. So always check out those archives because they're always introducing new characters. All right. I'm going to go into the DC stuff a little bit at the end there because DC now is kicking off their big summer event, the Night Terror event, which goes on for 2 months, and it's going to suspend most of the regular stories in the regular volumes. So I'll address that at the end. Next on our list, we have from Image Comics. This one was one I was looking forward to. I had forgotten about it a little bit until I saw I was kind of reviewing the solicitations last week. This is Swan Songs from Image Comics, and this is from W. Maxwell Prince and one of my favorite kind of creepy artists. It's Martin Simmons. The artwork he does is creepy, not the artist himself. You might recognize this team here. They do the Ha Ha stuff. They've done the team behind Ice Cream Man. So again, in the same kind of theme, these are anthologies, one-shot self-contained stories in each issue. And in the Swan Song series is going to be stories about the ends of stuff. So and things like the end of a marriage, maybe the end of a song, maybe the end of a play, the end of the universe. I saw one solicitation that said even the end of a sentence. So they start off with this one here is the end of the world, and it has a guy that's living in an apartment with his mom, and she's sick and dying. It doesn't say of what, but not, and it says it's the end of the world. So the world's about to end. They don't really say why it's going to end, but it looks like just apocalyptically. And this guy is going to travel across the city and go through all these amazing, crazy obstacles just to get a magazine that might be at an old deserted doctor's office to bring back and read to his mom one last time before she passes away. So again, these are not going to be energetic and upbeat magazines. These are all very melancholy and sad and depressing, much like some of the ha-ha stuff was in that, very, very surreal in that, but great reads. So, and also great artistry. So if anyone's not familiar with the Martin Simmons stuff, there's a lot of the Something's Killing the Children, Department of Truth, a lot of horror stuff. So very, very creepy. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So. Very good book so far. I would say if I had to pick, probably that's probably one of my book of the weeks. But I always have a hard time picking out one that stands up more because, some weeks there's like 45 books that come out, and I pick, up to 20, between 12, 20. This week I got 12 books for you guys, so obviously I'm not picking crappy ones. So, all right, we have a new volume of Gun Honey coming out in here. We have Heat Seeker. Again, these are neat books here. So if anyone is a fan of kind of pulp noir kind of stuff, and secret agent and James Bondian type of stuff, this is it. Extremely sexy, almost like the exploitation type of things. Gun Honey and all the characters in Gun Honey are usually female assassins. They've either worked together in the past as paid assassins or covert agents and that. And with this one here is you have this new character here, the redhead, and she is a person who helps people disappear, and whether it's staging murders or actually committing murders and that, and she's helping the original Gun Honey and the person that Gun Honey was helping last time or was working with last time. Everyone's out to get them, and she's going to help try and make them disappear. So extremely provocative, great artwork in here, very, very adult story, and yeah, super, super sexy. So if any of that offends you, this is probably not for you. But again, I do like these books a lot. Again, not just because of the sexiness, because I do like that stuff, but these are good stories, like good old-fashioned sexy spy stories. Heat Seeker. This is the third volume, I believe it is, of Gun Honey from Titan Comics. Lots of great covers for that one, but unfortunately, most of them can't be seen. Although I almost did it for pick of the week there, and I just said not to do it for this week. They have a great homage cover there to Betty and Veronica. Also from Image this week, we have Weird Work. This book is fun and super colorful. I really liked it. It has kind of makes me think of artwork from like the Mad Men, that kind of crazy Mad Men art, and Futurama. Lots of that kind of crazy, weird shapes and all these weird different types of assorted aliens. This is it's about a world where, like I said, these people all live together, and there is some cops. These two cops here are investigating some murders in that once about 18 months or so after the main crime lord gets taken out, there seems to be a few bodies found that kind of link other things together. So things are getting really weird here, but like I said, it's kind of like LA Confidential meets Futurama type of thing if you want. So like I said, it is that old detective noir kind of thing here with lots of crazy colorful art and all kinds of creatures of every size, shape, and imagination. So a fun book here if anyone has likes that, or say something similar to like Sin in the City, like a kind of a detective feel. Lots of cool fun to it. And again, like I said, lots of colorful art and kind of has that Madman anime feel to it. So good stuff from Jordan Thomas and Shaky Kane. Image Weird Work. Another super colorful book, and that seems to be always what happens when you have these Sumerian books put out here. We have Pink Elephant. And again, kind of has like a weird size here, which is not too bad, but a little bit smaller than a regular comic. Great card stock here, nice and firm in that. And again, for only $3.99, so it's not too bad. So Pink Elephant here is again some crazy psychedelic artwork, much like the what's that other one? Pink Lemonade that's come out from this series, or it's from this company, and Rad Wraith and that. No, so again, psychedelic, very colorful. And this one here is about this car full of teens, kind of drive around looking to find this this place, and they end up coming across this area and this lady who has um, I guess kind of like a store out on the highway, like a gas station. But she's super creepy in that, and she kind of has that kind of the setup from like a person from like a slasher movie type of thing, the weirdo townsperson that kind of lets these people know they're all gonna die in that. And they don't listen to her warning. Her warning is about the pink elephant guy, who's like this monster that comes from um, the different dimension that's seen in the area, and and she ends up following these people to the place, this cabin that they're at, and yeah, it turns out that the woman at the store there actually has I don't know if she does it on purpose or not, but has um, drugs laced in some of the candies in that, or some of the candies in that they sell are laced with drugs and LSD. So these kids realize that and take it, and on this trip, they start tripping out, and then the elephant man, or what do they call it? The pink elephant, starts kind of coming to in that. And you see him coming through this dimension in that. And it turns out, it seems like that when you take this acid or whatever it is, that's the pore that releases like this pink elephant. So I guess now this pink elephant kind of creature is gonna be like a slasher, and then we going after these kids and that. So awesome artwork in here, great coloring, and yeah, it seems to be pretty neat. I like what that Sumerian does there. They have kind of like that's kind of like their theme for their books, and that colorful, different. I like it. Mad Cave, we have Under the Influence. I was a little familiar with this book because we had read the Ashcan, the preview a few weeks ago. So I remember flipping through that a little bit and quite enjoying it. And so when I started reading this again, I remembered what it was about, and I was glad to see more of the issue because, like I said, the Ashcan doesn't have the whole issue usually. This one here is about a kid who is a young adult now, and he's running. I won't say he's running, but he's they start to label as a cult, but he's actually an influencer on social media, and he has this thing started up called the Hot Dog Challenge, where he challenges these people to go and steal this one brand of hot dogs from everywhere they can, film it for like TikTok or whatever. So these kids are all doing it, and other bad stuff starts happening because of it. Something happens during one of these pranks that ends up causing something quite serious, like someone ends up getting hurt and dying. So now the authorities want to go after this person, kind of for being this cult leader, for starting all this with these kids and that. And the person who started this cult is actually a kid that was once a kind of a spokesperson for this hot dog company, and they've had disputes and stuff over the years, and had falling out with legal ties and royalties or whatever and that. So now he's kind of doing this for revenge, and it seems like it's almost going to become like like this kid has got like a sociopath. He's going to do more wreckage than just kind of destroy this company. It's kind of like we see nowadays with like cancel culture and stuff, but it's going to take it up one notch and maybe even murder in that. So a neat book, again, because again, it's not where we're at nowadays, but not far off. How people could kind of instigate riots and murder and stuff like that just by following social media and then not feel I guess responsible for it, even though they are causing it. And how the story works in here is there's a woman that works for the FBI, and she's young, much like a little bit older than the group that they're dealing with there, and they're going to bring her into the university as kind of infiltrated as well, even though she agrees with them somewhat. But again, she understands that you can't be killing people in that. So neat start so far. I liked it a lot. Bit of a thicker book this week. This one is from Dark Horse Comics, and again, it's only $5, so not too bad. But again, a thicker book. This is Barnstormers from Tula Lotay and Scott Snyder. You have Scott Snyder doing the writing and Tula Lotay doing the art here. I'm a huge fan of Tula Lotay's work. Awesome painting work. Usually done with a lot of the sexiness in that. In other books and that, especially books like Faithless and that, but not so much in here. There are some sexy moments in here, but it's not what it is. This book is about around in the 1920s. There were people called barnstormers who would do aerial plane tricks, and after the war and that. So you have this one guy here named Hawk who's going around doing barnstorming, these barnstorming trips to make money and to that's what he just travel from town to town, trying to do tricks for money. Kind of like shows and that, like air shows. He ends up interrupting what he thinks is a group of people waiting for him for a show, and it ends up being a wedding for some very rich and important people. And like I said, he interrupts this wedding, and the bride ends up wanting to leave with him in that. So she ends up convincing him to take her along in that. And now this guy is not only being chased by his normal life, that which isn't great, but now he has this rich and powerful family who are after him and her as well too. So neat book so far, kind of like a runaway bride meets this rogue type of character, and he also at the same time is going through this PTSD thing that has left over from the war and that. So this is the neat part about what I like too. He seemed to be haunted by these robot monsters that were kind of like these Halloween demonic monsters from the war. So we don't know if that's real or not, or if that's just part of his post-traumatic stress syndrome. But again, this guy is kind of has like that Han Solo feel. Neat book so far. But again, truly great artwork. And again, I like period pieces and historical stuff, but having this these kind of killer robots almost that are chasing him maybe from the war, and that has kind of hooked me in a little bit more. All right, now before we jump into those DC books, we have from Opus, and Opus is that one group has a lot of the music related books and the art related books like Frank Frazetta and that. We have from Gene Simmons, we have Dominatrix. And Gene Simmons, from Kiss, so if that's everybody remembers that. This book is basically exactly what you see on the cover here. We have a dominatrix who gets wrapped up in an adventure per se, but she gets wrapped up in a situation that she just happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. During one of her sessions, one of her clients is being chased by these people for some stuff that he has in a duffel bag, we find out. So they break in during one of her sessions, and they kill him, and she manages to escape. She only manages to escape these assassin type people because she takes a pill that she finds inside this bag, this duffel bag that this guy has. This duffel bag is full of all these kind of pharmaceuticals. She figures instead of letting these guys kill her, she'll just off herself type of thing. There's a little bit more backstory and expose on that in the book, why she thinks that. But she finds out that when she takes this pill, she kind of gets superpowers. She gets super strong in that, and is able to take out these assassins while they're there, and then she's able to leave. So now she's kind of on the run. Doesn't know why or what these pills are, but they seem to give people superpowers. Yeah, she's got a bunch of people following her. So kind of cliche, but at the same time, different enough and tongue-in-cheek enough to be fun. And it's just kind of neat knowing it's done by Gene Simmons. And again, some great artwork in here. Very, very sharp, very, very crisp. But at the same time, again, not for kids. I don't think you see actual nudity in this one, just very, very close to. Yeah. But again, just some nice covers. So that is Dominatrix from Gene Simmons from Opus. All right, so like I said, we'll jump right into the DC books here. Like I said, most of the DC books have been their main titles will be kind of suspended for the next 2 months for summer, and that is because they have the kind of a big summer crossover event called Night Terrors. So we'll start off here. We got the first book of that thing here, the main book. We got Night Terrors First Blood. Well, I guess actually they're switching to the main book. I guess the main book will just be Night Terrors. But this is kind of like how Marvel does their Omega and Alpha and that. So this is Night Terrors First Blood. What this is we have this villain up here. He is I guess, kind of like the opposite or the counterpart to Dr. Destiny, an old DC villain, Dr. Destiny, who could control people's dreams, and that by something called the Dream Stone. Well, we find out here that there's a nightmare stone out there that can kind of let people get controlled through nightmares. And this one guy, this new character called Insomnia, has managed to make the whole world fall asleep, so he can travel through everybody's nightmares to find this nightmare stone to take over the reality. So kind of neat so far. I like that. Really liked it. So Deadman, Boston Brand's one of the main characters in here because it's all about death and everything and the nighttime world. So he ends up being with the main characters here. We got finally, it's been a long time, but we get the re-team up of the Trinity there, of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, because those guys haven't worked together for a long time with all their stuff going on, Dark Crisis wise and that. Good start like that. I really like this book so far. It's neat. So like I said, everybody's falling asleep, and once you fall asleep, you have to, your worst nightmares kind of come true type of thing. So yeah, everybody's going to be kind of fighting this monster, Insomnia, this new creature, for about 2 months through the Night Terrors series itself. And like I said, there's a bunch of spin-off books that kind of tie in as well. Some more than others, just like we usually do. And I have a few of those that I reviewed this week as well. But this is written by Joshua Williamson. So again, one of the guys that's doing a lot of the main forecasting and storytelling for DC right now. And I really like Porter's art on it as well too. Very, very hyper artwork. So hyper detailed, nice stuff. So liked it so far. Yeah, I think this will be a kind of a good book or a good event for. I know that a lot of these books and one-shots do kind of have some new characters popping up. Whether they're relevant or not after this series is another thing, but it's kind of neat. A lot of them are kind of nightmare versions of main characters. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this and that. It's been fun so far, but like I said, very, very creepy, very, very dark, and like I said, nightmares. DC nightmares. All right. So like I said, there was think 4 or 5 of those that came out this week. There was a Batman one, a Joker one. We have the Ravager one here, and a couple other ones here as well. Poison Ivy, I believe, is one of them too. The one I'm covering here is Ravager. Reason I'm covering that is because there's an introduction of a couple new characters in here. So that's probably the main reason I'll be when I cover these books over the next few months. If they introduce new characters, that's where I'll cover them. But again, you got Ravager. So we got Ravager down there. That's Rose, the daughter of Deathstroke in that. And she has now fallen asleep and is in this nightmare world where she has come across a younger version of herself who's being chased by, looks like her father. Again, all dead versions of it. Kind of neat. Seems like the nightmare versions of her father and I would assuming it's 2 versions of her father, or one's her father and her brother, and they're tired of working for the insomnia guy, and they want to be real. They want to find a bridge to go from nightmare reality to the real reality, and it seems like maybe Rose might be it. So. Again, it's fun. I liked it. Lots of great creepy artwork in here too. Like I said, a lot of monsters and horrific stuff in here. Like I said, this one, it does tie into you do see the connection a little bit more to the Night Terror stuff and that, but there's going to be a lot of books that the only connection is just the title itself, besides the fact that it's a character in a nightmare story. Lastly on my list, also from DC, but this is actually one of the books that is not part of the Midnight Terror stuff. This is the Steelworks, #2. This is with John Steele and Natasha Irons there, back in the city there, trying to build a world that they can kind of take care of themselves and not have to depend on superheroes so much, especially the Superman family. They have everything's technology based, especially the technology that was brought back from War World, where Superman was. Yeah, so everyone is going on here. The reason I covered this book is because they have the full first appearance of a character called Silver Mist. He's kind of, he's not that much different than the Ghost character from Marvel, where it's like this ghost character, misty ghost character that can go through stuff. And also very much like Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde, where if it goes through stuff, it kind of disrupts electronics and that as well too. So I kind of liked it. Second issue a little bit better than the first one, so that was okay too. But like I said, introduction of a new character called the Silver Mist, an enemy for this John Steele character, created by the person who's trying to destroy Steelworks itself. He's like this new, not new, I guess he's new, this billionaire that's trying to destroy John in that because John wants to, like I said, offer all this free technology and energy to the world, and this guy's energy mogul does not like that. So everybody, like I said, that was it for this week. Because the holidays wasn't a big week, but still got a great handful of books there for you guys. Hope you liked it. I know it's con season right now. A lot of people out traveling for holidays for cons and that. Let me know where you're at and who you're seeing, because that's always curious as well too. Otherwise than that, we'll maybe see you on Monday for the dicey stuff. Don't forget that on the 21st we have the wrestling show coming up. So hopefully see you guys there for that. Otherwise, I will see you later on today for the FOC video. See you there, guys.